I have body dysmorphia. That's right. I said it. I have body dysmorphia. In today's video, I'm going to talk about why I think I have it, what body dysmorphia is. So what even is body dysmorphia? Let's look it up. Body dysmorphia is a mental illness involving obsessive focus on a perceived flaw in appearance. The flaw may be minor or imagined, but the person may spend hours a day trying to fix it or thinking about it, contemplating it. Okay, so basically it's a mental illness. Okay, so they're telling me I got a mental illness. And I have an obsessive focus on my perceived flaw in appearance. Well, I'm just going to be open with you guys. That is definitely true. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to say, honestly, like, I definitely am one of those people that when I start to gain a little bit of fat, I definitely get self-conscious about it. And people will look at me and they'll be like, Dan, you're like, nothing is wrong with your body. And I'm like, no, I'm like feeling kind of fat right now, or I weighed a little too much, or I don't have like a vein running through my stomach right now, so I'm not in the best shape I could be. So I'm here to talk about why that's good, or why I, for my own personal life, view that as good, why it can be bad. But overall, guys, what I am not promoting is any kind of like mental disorder or eating disorder because of having this. I think if you're someone who struggles with a severe case of body dysmorphia or an eating disorder, I really do recommend that you seek professional help. Don't just listen to this video. I am just sharing with you my experience so that you can get something out of it. So when you hear the word body dysmorphia, it definitely gets a negative connotation, one which I don't really think it should have, because right when people hear body dysmorphia, they think of the extreme case of either, and on the extreme spectrum, by the way, you have people who think that they're too thin, and so they constantly have this obsession with putting on muscle, like some professional bodybuilders who even have admitted to having severe body dysmorphia. Or on the other end, you have people that think that they're too fat, and so they obsessively just like lose weight all the time. And you can have, you know, certain disorders like bulimia and stuff like that. I guess also you could have people on you know, a similar spectrum that are really, really overweight and think that they are skinny. So an example of that would be like Nikocado Avocado, because I know it's kind of a joke with him, but like he always talks about, oh, it's water weight, like I don't think I'm that big, when in reality he's about 400 pounds. So one reason why I like body dysmorphia is because it keeps me in line, like straight up. My kind of fear of being like, oh man, like I'm feeling a little fat, it makes me wake up and be consistent. Like it actually does make me work out. So while I might have an insecurity, I also think that having a little bit of body dysmorphia is helping me just stay in the best shape that I could. Honestly, guys, I obsessively work out. Like I'm definitely one of those people that if I don't move my body for a certain period of time, I get all in my head like, oh, I gotta like walk up some stairs, or like, oh, I had 2 extra burgers last night. Like I need to jump rope today, even though I know that that is not a good way to deal with it. That's just the reality of the situation. I am definitely someone who is addicted to exercising, just like workaholics are addicted to working. Like there's some people that have to keep working and they'll work like 90 hours a week and it'll like ruin their family life and stuff, but they can't help it. They're like, I just gotta I have to work. Admittedly, that's how I am with exercise. It's actually not super hard for me to stay lean because I am kind of obsessed with like when people tell me, oh, I just can't stick to my workout schedule, I don't struggle with that at all. Like I'm constantly like, yeah, let's do that. Let's work out in the morning and let's go for a walk at lunch. Let's do something else. So I guess what I'm saying is I'd much rather have the issue of always wanting to work out than the other way around, where like you're actually not in shape, but you're like, no, like everything's totally fine. I'm not unhealthy, but really it's like, no, you should exercise. So I don't really mind that I have this little insecurity or issue. Also, I'm definitely one of those people that like am always like touching my body. Like if you're around me long enough, you'll be like, Dan, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just like touching my body fat to see how much there is. And yeah, sure, it might be a disorder, but you know, whatever. Another thing too is I can notice my mood change and I don't feel as like athletic and good about myself when I do gain more weight. So when I gain more body fat, I just don't feel as like comfortable, versus I don't know why this is, but when I'm super lean, like 190 pounds, super low body fat, everything just feels more fluid. My confidence feels higher, my mood feels better. I feel like I surf better, I feel like I'm more flexible, I feel like I can just do activities better. So I think think overall the act of just being extremely lean makes me feel really good. Another thing I want to kind of confess to you guys is I know a lot of people in like fitness and health always say, oh, you should work out to make yourself feel good, or you should work out because, you know, just because of positivity and to make yourself, you know, it's something that makes you happy. Working out does relieve stress for me. It does improve my mood, but I'd be lying to you guys if I said that all the time I want to work out because I feel good. Like, sometimes I work out because I'm internally angry at Dan Whitmer for eating that donut when I shouldn't have, or eating that extra cheeseburger, or having an extra drink when I told myself, you know what, I wasn't going to drink it all tonight, and then I do, and internally I'm like, you know what, Dan, that's unacceptable and I hate you right now, so I'm going to pick up my jump rope and angrily work out. Again, this might be a mental disorder, I don't know, but I also don't really care because that's what makes me get up off my butt and get to work. I'm not someone who's motivated by all this positivity and like, ooh yeah, it'll make you feel good. This video is brought to you by Crossrope. So Crossrope is the jump rope that we use in every single video that you see on this channel. It's our absolute favorite and most effective for fitness and weight loss. It's linked up below. If you want to get our jump rope for 15% off, just enter code DOTHETHING, all one word, at checkout. The URL's here, the link's in the description. My recommendation would be to get Lean Set. That's the rope that I use the most for and what you're going to see most in these workouts. So they also have a 60-day money-back guarantee. So if you get something from them and you don't like it, go ahead and send it back. Again, that link is crossrope.com/JRD. Some people are probably going to comment and be like, that's not a healthy mindset to teach people. I'm not saying it is, but I think that we, in order to stay healthy or good at anything, or for anything to be important in your life, you almost kind of need a little bit of insecurity around it that pushes you to just be better and better, or to always think like, I'm not good enough, so I'm going to keep going. Again, at extreme levels, this can totally ruin your life, but a little bit, I think, can be a good push in the right direction. I want to give you some solutions or ways that you could maybe think about this if you struggle with body dysmorphia as well. The first thing, self-acceptance. If you struggle with body dysmorphia, or if you're someone who's not happy with their physique, please accept that you are where you're at, and that's cool, dude. That is okay. Accept that you are where you are. You have to change. You have to lose the weight. You have to get more fit for your family or for your health or whatever. But just accept, like, dude, it's okay. I'm overweight, or I'm not at the skill level I want to be at, or I am not where I want to be, but that is fine, and I will slowly and patiently get to that point. So first of all, the self-acceptance of where you're at, it's totally cool. We got this. We can work on this. The second part of that is the other side of that, which is self-discipline. I'm not saying that body positivity is a bad thing. I don't think that's bad at all. I think it's great to love yourself, but I also think you have to know when it's time to kick your own ass. Like, you have to know when you've let yourself go a little bit too much and you're like, you know what, I'm being pretty self-accepting here, but I'm also just like being lazy now, and I need to get that discipline back in order for me to get back on track. So what I'm saying, guys, is like, accept wherever you're at in the process, but have the discipline to know when it's time to get back on the train and work really hard. Another solution to accepting this is realizing that your body never actually remains the same. I fluctuate anywhere from like a 10-pound spectrum every day. In the morning, I might wake up and be 198, and then by the time I start eating and drinking, I'm like 205, and then by the end of the day at night again, I'm down to 195 or whatever it might be. So just understand that your body is always constantly changing. Like, when you get your perfect physique, don't hang on to this idea like, oh, okay, I don't need to do anything, it's just gonna stay like that. And on the other end of the spectrum, if you're super overweight and you're like, man, I'm so like, you know, I wanna get fit and healthy, but I can't because I look like this, also understand that you're not always gonna look like that either. You can lose as well. So I think by accepting that your body is always changing and that to be fit is really a lifestyle, it helps you to kind of not get as worked up when you look in the mirror and see something you don't like, because it is a process. It's something that you have to create a bunch of habits, or not even a bunch, just create a few habits for, so that you can eventually live within this range that feels comfortable. For me, what that range is if I'm in the range of like 188 to 197 pounds, that for me is perfect. That's where I'm at, a healthy body fat. I'm still lean and I still have enough visible muscle to have that lean and cut physique like we talk about here. And the last solution for accepting your body dysmorphia, and I am so guilty of this. Quit comparing yourself to others. Quit looking at Instagram and looking at what other people's physiques are. First of all, because a ton of these people are on steroids. And the more that I live in this fitness world, YouTube, social media, the more I keep finding out that all these people are on steroids. And so one, you're comparing yourself to things that are not attainable. But two, the comparison game is just not a good game to play with anything. There's always someone who's going to have a more desirable body, or like that you're going to desire more than your own. There's always someone who's going to have more money than you. There's always someone who's going to have something that you don't have that you're going to want. So my third solution for accepting this is just don't compare yourself to others. And although I'm guilty of, comparing myself, I still feel like I do a pretty good job of looking in the mirror and being like, I'm happy with you, Dan. I feel like you look really good. You feel really good. You're performing at a high level. You're all good. I'm aware, guys. Like, I know that my physique is nice. I like my physique. I think my physique looks good. I'm not delusional. Like, I do not have this like bodybuilder perfect physique. Like, people don't ask me, Dan, are you on steroids? I'm not big and ripped enough to be asked if I'm on steroids. So I think my point here is most of the time when I look in the mirror, I just feel good about what I see looking back at me. And I think that's the place that most people should get to, is a place where you know how much discipline you need to get the result you want, but you also generally just feel good about yourself in that range, like I said, that you live in. If you're someone who struggles with weight or you're just trying to get on the right track, also be sure to check out the JRD app, specifically the JRD Max. That is our flagship program. For anyone, whether you're a beginner or intermediate jumper, that is the best, most effective program that we have to lose weight. Also, it comes available, via app on, your Android or iPhone. All of the videos are full length with me mic'd up, leading you through the entire thing, so you don't have to stop and hit rewind. The app also comes with a bunch of other programs, nutrition information, and also an accountability forum to get coaching and also stay accountable with other members of the community. So go ahead, check that out. It's also linked up in the description.